About the structure of database management system. So first of all, we'll discuss about the definition of database management system. So database management system is a software that allows to access the data stored in a database management system, and it provides the defining information, storing information, manipulating information, protecting information from system crashes or data thefts, or differentiating access permissions for different users, means controlling the data access and the privileges. So all these are managed by the database management system. So next, database management system has three components. So those are query processor, storage manager, and disk storage. So in query processor, so the query processor interprets the request, that is queries from end users, which are accepted by using application programming interfaces or application programming screens. So query processor having these following components. Like first one is a DML compiler. So DML compiler process the DML commands into low level instructions, and that can be executed within the system. So DML commands means insert, update and delete commands. So next, second component in query processor is DDL interpreter. So it processes the DDL statements into set of tables containing metadata. So DDL statements means create, alter, drop and rename, etc. So next component is embedded DML precompiler. So process DML statements which are embedded in application programs into procedure calls, and then that procedure calls will be executed within the system. So next component in query processor is query optimizer. So query optimizer executes the instructions generated by the DML compiler. So next, second main component is storage manager. Storage manager means managing the storage. So it interfaces between the data stored in the database and queries received. So it acting as an intermediary between the data stored in the database and queries received from the user from application programming interfaces. So it is also known as a data control system because it controls the data which is stored in database management system. So means the user control privileges are defined by the storage manager. So next, maintaining the responsible of updating, storing, deleting, retrieval of the data can be done storage manager. So storage manager having the following components like authorization manager. So authorization manager role based access control can be managed. Role based access control means verification of the user, allowing authorized users to access authorized data and to perform authorized operations. So integrity manager is also a tool so which can perform the check the integrity constraints, means constraints on the user input are verified by the integrity manager. So transaction manager main role is to maintain and control the concurrent execution of the transaction with the help of the concurrent transaction scheduler. So next one, file manager. So file manager manages the file space in the disk and the data structure used to present the information. So next, buffer manager. So buffer manager responsible for maintaining the cache memory and transferring the data from the secondary memory to main memory. So next, disk storage. So disk storage means maintaining the disk storage in hard disk. First one is data files. So stores the data in files. Data dictionary means so maintaining the data about the data elements inside the database management system in disk. So indexes, so it provides so this component provides the faster retrieval access of the data from the database management system. And DBM is also having three components like internal level, conceptual level and external level. So internal level means it describes so how the data accessed from the physical storage devices, access paths, storage structures are defined in internal level. So in conceptual level defines what data can be stored, what are the relationship between the data elements. So here database designers and programmers are working in this environment. So external level, so the user accessing the particular part of the database in external level. So observe this diagram. This diagram illustrate the the database system environment. So here in this case database administrator sends the creates the database schema. So creates the database schema. So and with the help next the DDL compiler executes the DDL commands which was sent by the database administrator, and the output will be stored in a data dictionary. So that is maintained by the data dictionary manager. So coming into user level, so user submitting the queries, so the query processor receiving the queries, and next authorizes the authorization controls. So if it is valid, so then command processor process the command query and then checks the integrity checker. So next to query optimizer will execute that query with the help of the scheduler. So this transaction will be controlled by the transaction manager, and buffer manager transfers the data from the data files to back to the user. So here application programmers creates application programs, and these application programs contains the DML embedded DML commands. So these DML commands will be submitted through the DML compiler to the query processor. So next to query processor can perform authorization and submitting next to command processor. All this process can be done so by using this database structure environment. So this is regarding components or structure of database management system.